February 22nd, 2014, 1:32 a.m., Long Beach, California. A 20-year-old female is taken to the emergency room under extreme conditions of seizures, paleness, and regurgitating. I was always the shy girl growing up, never knowing what to say or how to say something. My brain would trip over my mouth in an attempt to pretend like I was comfortable. You're not pretty. You're not fun. You're not lovable. You're worthless. College was supposed to be a time of new beginnings and a fresh start to becoming an improvement upon myself. Within this new chapter in my life, my insecurities clawed their way to the forefront of my mind in my attempt to meet new people, to make new connections. I'd find myself at a party wandering around unseen beneath the harsh lights and blurred figures drunk on their own comfortability. I wanted to shake hands with my iniquity, and all of my self-doubt dissolved as my lips touched the tip of the bottle. Just a couple of sips and I was the life of the party, conversing with multiple people and feeling more and more confident in myself. I stood on the table above a drunken crowd, singing at the top of my lungs, and at that moment, I was invincible. You're pretty. You're fun. You're lovable. You have worth. Woke up in the clothes from the night before, staring at an unfamiliar ceiling. How'd I get from the party to this mattress? Choking up the tears and the spit, but the room still spins. I need to figure out how to turn this hangover, this regret off. You're not pretty. You're not fun. You're not lovable. You're worthless. February 21st, different day, different party, and I knew not a soul there, except for my old friend Malibu. My own carelessness astounded me. How I could consume something that I knew would destroy me, yet feel nothing. Just numbness spreading to my fingertips and stumbling steps to the cab waiting outside. The streetlights sped past, leaving trails of blurred light behind. Next thing I know, everything turned black. My eyes fluttered open, and all I could see was blinding light. I looked to my arm and saw a clear liquid pumping from a tube attached to me. How did I get here? What happened tonight? My stomach feels like someone dug a hole in it and flipped it inside out. My head is split in two. You're worthless. You're worthless. You're worthless. Droplets of thick tears began to run down my face as my stomach began to fill with shame and guilt. Instant regret began to fill my whole being, days, weeks, and months to come after that dreadful night. The taste of my vice repulsed me and became my enemy rather than my friend. The very thought and sight of this evil companion abused every part of me. I walk into a hazy field of my thoughts, reflecting on every decision I've made leading up to this point in my life. Why was I acting so recklessly and putting myself behind others? You're careless. You're foolish. You're negligent. You have no worth. Falling into this downward spiral of my ignorance and recklessness, I needed guidance. Confronting this deeper self-esteem problem required support from close friends and family. This empty cavity would soon be filled with endless love and encouragement from those I've grown close to over the years. You're weak. You're vulnerable. You're exposed. You need help. Sitting in a dimly lit room surrounded by my closest family and friends, I am found under a radiant spotlight, unmasked for who I was, a troubled girl. My mouth begins to sputter out words regarding every bit of doubt I have felt my entire life. Body image, intelligence, relationships, and of course, judgment. Spilling into a trail of life events leading up to that night, I choke over my own words and emotions. Incapable of speaking, my eyes begin to fill with thick, succulent tears. My words catch up to my mouth as I uttered only 2 words: alcohol poisoning. Eyes widen and jaws drop as I continue to uncover my mental and emotional pain. My stomach is no longer filled with guilt or shame. It's been replaced by fulfillment and gratification. Nothing has felt more satisfying than being comforted with open ears and arms by understanding companions. You're supported. You are loved. You are cared for. You're going to be okay. Months following that night, I came to terms with what I had done and how that made me the person I am today. Courageous, stressed, confident, sensitive, open-minded, weary, sassy, weird, compassionate, anxious, and even insecure. Ultimately, it's not about ridding of any qualities to please others. It's important to accept yourself as you are and accommodate to whatever troubles you face all throughout life. As long as you have support by your side, you can accomplish some of your worst fears. I have. You are fearless. You are quirky. You are caring. You have worth.